Welcome to another Sunday night discussion roundtable here on the OHIO podcast. Tonight's episode is brought to you by a place at home senior care. If your loved one is recovering from a recent hospitalization, stroke, or fall, or living possibly with dementia, maybe they need support at home, maybe they need help with the bathing, dressing, mobility assistance, medication reminders, any of those things, a place at home, Dublin is your number one source. They're the people you need to call. A placeathome.com/Dublin is their website, or you can give them a call, 740-472-8181. Also, don't forget about MyBookie. MyBookie still, right now, things are hot. In fact, I'll talk to Chris. I'll share Chris's story with you in just a moment. But MyBookie, use promo code Ohio, OHIO. Get some great deals over at MyBookie when you put in that promo code OHIO. Let them know that you heard them from us, man. We would love to have each and every single one of you support those who are supporting us and our shows, MyBookie. By the way, the merch store's up. There you go. There's the Podfather merchandise. It's in the store, brand new, just released. It's out, and I've already heard from Vassals 2.0, who's doing our merch for us, that the TG Wolverine Slayer and the Buckeye Lady stuff is there, and people want it, so they're already giving in those orders. Support your favorite host here at the OHIO podcast by buying their merch and supporting them around town. Plus, it's free advertising for us. Hey, man, where'd you get that awesome Podfather shirt? Well, I got it from the OHIO podcast. You should check them out. Joining us this evening, it's the home team. To my left is Chris. Diagonally from me is Corey, and TG is below me. Before I jump into what we're going to talk about with them, I have a very special thing to show all of you. I have a fan. I have at least one fan. I at least got one. She came up to me. She was the sweetest little thing. Macy came up to me and she made me this. She stitched this little football with Ohio on it, and she painted me this little sign. It's got a scarlet and gray football, and she sent me this nice little letter, and she asked me to show that to y'all. So I said I absolutely will. So you all might not like me, but Macy does, and that's what matters. So thank you, Macy, for bringing me those gifts at our awesome event we had yesterday for the Game Watch. Chris, why don't you tell everybody a little bit about what kind of time we had over there at Baker's?
Oh, man, it was awesome. First of all, thank you to Baker's Pizza for hosting us, because I'll tell you, food was incredible. Atmosphere was great. The service was wonderful. Thanks to everybody who came out. Roy brought an entire tailgate with him,
Yes.
and that was great. What a lot of great people there. We gave away some prizes. Everybody seemed to have a lot of fun. And like you said, Eric, we met a lot of people who weren't even associated with the podcast before, who are now. So, I mean, it was a great time. Of course, the game was great. I got to tell you, I'm a little sore, though. But let me tell you, Bart came hard with them belly bumps, man. I thought he had a steel plate in there when he was chest bumping us, man.
Great time. Yep, Bart joined us there. His mother, who helps run Vassals 2.0.
Gave me this lovely shirt.
Yeah, check it. Stand up, show everybody that bad boy. That is awesome.
Stand up, no.
Okay. I didn't even know they had that in black. Awesome. Cool. Yeah, they're going to be doing so much more with us, dude. So we appreciate that. Bart says the belly bumps were epic. All right, guys, I didn't get a chance to watch the live watch with you, TG, and you, Corey. Corey, I'll go to you next, man. Kind of give me the rundown of your feelings during that game and kind of maybe the emotional roller coaster you're on. I don't know. I haven't watched it yet. I imagine, like me, at first you were like, but you kind of still had the confidence that we were going to pull it out. And then when the snowball started running, the confidence started building. Am I right in my guess?
Well, it was more when the interception happened on the second offensive play that I literally was just, why? Every year, why? McCord, Howard, now saying, I'll have to do it our own. It just drove me insane, but TG and I were pretty happy after that, I think, because it started to snowball in our favor. It felt great to bully ball them in their own home field. That really felt amazing. I mean, it was just one of the most satisfying wins in my lifetime, beating Michigan.
TG, give me your kind of experience yesterday of watching the game.
Yeah, as Corey said, I was a little upset on the interception because I'm like, why would you force that? Why? But I didn't lose my confidence. I was gonna be happy, and I was from the rest of the game. I was fired up, especially with Bo Jackson talking some mess up in who was that corner's face that he got into?
Jair Hill, yeah.
Yeah, he talking all his mess, and man, I love how our offensive line and our D line was just bullying them in the line of scrimmage from top to bottom. And like I said, Michigan, y'all were talking about us all them years. Eat it now. Eat it. How I feel.
So I gotta tell you guys a funny story because I'm sitting beside Eric over here at Baker's, and that interception happens. The first thing I did was look at him and go, because we hadn't seen the live yet. I looked at him and said, God, I hope it's not Corey and TG both on there together. We may not have a channel when we go back. I was like, they're liable to have lost their minds. And then Eric flips on the live, and it's like, shows it to me. I'm like, oh, crap.
Oh, you guys don't know this, but I anticipated that you guys would be a little upset, and so I made sure to turn off the monetization at first until I knew we were good. Because I was like, I don't want YouTube.
Yeah, there were no swear words, I promise.
Oh, shoot. Yeah, Buck Vader, I saw that. We're going to get to that next. Actually, we're going to highlight that in just a second. So, can I be honest with you guys? I made the comment to someone who had being interviewed by about that game, and I said to him, I will know in the first 8 minutes if we're going to win this game or not based off the aggression in Ryan Day. So the interception, although it stunk, it didn't scare me because I thought to myself, as long as he doesn't all of a sudden clam up, we're going to be fine, because that showed me we're going to be aggressive. We're going to take it to you. And we did the whole game. So I'm so glad that after that INT happened, he didn't go ultra conservative after that, because they could not stop us what we were trying to do.
Thank God he wasn't the play caller.
Yeah, and okay. Thank you, Corey, for bringing that up too. Brian Hartline, pretty good.
That was a very well called game.
Just about everything there. It's hard to. And by the way, Matt Patricia, holy smokes!
You said he was going to be the X Factor, Eric.
He's the X Factor, and he's the X Factor for the rest of this run, guys.
I say we lock him in the room and don't let him out until he signs an extension.
You talk about the. Sorry.
Go ahead, TG. Then Chris.
Okay.
You're muted. Okay, go ahead, Chris. Then we'll have TG jump in.
Okay. First of all, I can share TG's thoughts. She's probably going to remind us that she told us all not to panic when Patricia was hired. But no, you guys should have been there with Eric yesterday, because we were talking about the play calling. When that shovel pass came up that none of us had ever seen before, oh my goodness, I thought Eric and Bart were both going to just break down and cry. They were so excited about that.
Yeah, but Eric cries all the time.
We can hear you now, TG.
Now we can hear TG.
Yeah, yes, Chris, you were right. That's what I was going to say. I said, guess who called it from the beginning? For everybody who thought. I stood on it, and if I was wrong, I would stand in it. I'm glad I was right.
Indeed you were. All right, let me get to this awesome nugget that our boy Vader dropped. I think I highlighted it already, so let me see if I start it. I did not. You son of a gun. Now I gotta go back through all of these.
This is your Julian Sand interception moment.
It is beginning of the game. I just threw a pick. I love how. Did you guys hear the story about that though? Ryan Day looked over him, saying what like this went. We're good.
Yeah, he goes, I know. I thought it was cover one.
There you go, Eric.
Thank you. Buck Vader, our insider, a source in the Woody just told me that we were tipped off, or Ohio State was tipped off, that the communications would be shut off. So they knew beforehand that this was something that Michigan was going to do to them.
I think the irony is that it was Connor Stallions that tipped us off.
Um, just let's just go around and talk about it. Then we're gonna dive into all the good stuff. Chris, I'll let you go first. We'll go clockwise tonight.
How can you be surprised? How can
Right?
you be surprised? I mean, these guys can't help but cheat. It's what they do. They knew they needed a leg up because there was no chance they were beating this team on the field in a fair and square matchup. So they planned for a communications breakdown. Thankfully, Ohio State was prepared for it. They handled it more than adequately. And, I think this is going to show what Michigan is going to be doing, for the course of the next several years in their efforts to beat Ryan Day. And this is going to show how Ryan Day is going to one-up them every year. It's just whatever you're going to throw at us, we're going to handle. But I'm not at all surprised. This is just another sneaky little underhanded tactic from a team that really, that's all they have is sneaky underhanded tactics.
Cheaters up north. I'm calling that for no reason.
Corey, you want to comment on it?
Okay. I think it was honestly, there was a report by Jeremy Birmingham that when Ryan Day was leading the team out of the tunnel, everybody's spooing him, throwing stuff at him. So he just had a smirk on his face. And now that we know that Vader's awesome tip on this one, it just sounds like the minute they caught wind of this, Ryan Day's like, I got him. They're afraid. They're clearly afraid. Ryan Day went from uptight, clamming, pee down your leg to unflappable in a year. It's like he doesn't care anymore. He's like, you know what? I know what I'm doing. I'm the best freaking coach in all of college football, and I know what I'm doing. And you can't you can't get him off his game anymore.
TG?
Yeah, I would say the same thing. I mean, it's the cheaters up north. We don't call them that for no reason. Of course they were going to cheat. It's what they do because they know they can't win fair and square. So just go ahead, try to get an extra. Go ahead, try to get an extra advantage. Instead, Ohio State gets tipped off about it. Ryan Day, and you were right because someone actually said that there was a video of him getting stuff thrown at him, and he just smirked, and that smirk just said everything I need to know. Like,
he likes to be the villain.
I'm finna beat these boys. I'm finna beat these boys up. I'm finna beat belt to butt.
Right, RDCB. How are they tipped off? I don't know. That's obviously. I mean,
they have maybe Herb Street's son.
Chase? Is it Chase?
Hey, probably. I mean, he is the spy for Ohio State after all. I mean, that's what the Michigan fans
Okay, somebody right now who's very creative, make that meme of Chase on a phone. Hello, Ryan. They're going to turn off your communications. Heads up. Like, we need that right now because as soon as better yet, have Zach report that tomorrow and they will run with it. 100%. They will run with that. Admitting that they did it. And that's what's so funny about it.
Well, Tyler actually had another one. He says, no, it was Joey Velasquez.
Yeah, that'll work too. Joey and Chase are actually best friends, in case you didn't know, right?
And they're both going to jail for this, for tipping off Ohio State.
Yeah, of course. Of course.
No, it was Ryan Day's brother. Let's be real. Come on, stop it.
Yeah. 61 of you watching on YouTube right now, please hit that thumbs up button. We appreciate each and every single one of you. All right, guys, let's dive into it tonight. Let's go ahead and give a letter grade to this evening. Let's start with the offense first. We had 233 passing yards, 186 rushing yards, for a total of 419 yards, 5.7 yards per play, 22 first downs. We were 10 of 17 on third down, 2 of 3 on fourth down. We possessed the ball. I kid you not, this is real. For 40 minutes and 1 second. We did have the one turnover in that bad pass, the second pass of the game. Chris, your offensive letter grade for the Buckeyes.
The only reason this is not an A+ is because of that interception. This team went out there and they did exactly what they needed to do. And by God, Eric, they started out passing to open the run. And then they took that run and they beat Michigan at their own game. They bullied him. I know somewhere over in Indiana, Ray had a huge smile on his face.
Yeah.
You know, so I got to go with an A for these guys. The only reason it's not an A plus was that one ill-timed pass.
Same.
Corey, you're up next, then TG.
I'm going A plus. Don't care. They beat the team up north, and they bullied they bully balled them. I know it's a bad pick. I don't care. You get graded on a curve upward when you beat the team up north for me. A
Fair.
plus, 100%.
Fair. That's fair. I'm gonna just say A mainly because of the interception, but I can see that. I can give it to you, Corey, but I'm gonna stick with A.
Yeah, yeah, I'll agree with you guys. I'll go with an A. But it is the team up north, so A plus. I could go with either way. I agree with all of you. The chats up
So
here.
we're overall giving them an A plus minus, right?
A plus minus, yeah. So exactly, the chats all A's everywhere. A minus is the worst I've seen so far. So excellent. And by the way, again, shout out to you, TG. You were the one. You've been preaching this for months. You can outgain them running the football by passing first to open the run. And if you make them defend the pass, you can then on the backside get a bunch of yards at the end of the game running the football and still outgain them. You don't have to start by trying to run it all the time like, we've done in the past. So I remember you talking about that months ago, and that's exactly what the game plan was here. Be aggressive, throw the football, get them uncomfortable, open some passing lanes, and then or running lanes, and then all of a sudden you started gashing them in the second half. I mean, that was a wound they could not close. That they could not stop bleeding in the second half. And I know we only got 3 points off of it, but that 11-minute, 50-second drive, let's just call it 12 minutes, was demasculating to them.
Yes.
That was their version of we ran the football every play against Penn State in the second half, right? That's exactly what we just did to them in their house on them. And it all started with the fact that they couldn't stop Carnell Tate, Jeremiah Smith, Brandon Ennis, Max Clare. They had no answers for us.
Bo Jackson out of the backfield, man. 4 catches for 50 yards.
Oh
Yeah.
I mean, anywhere that Julian Sam wanted to put it, basically he could.
And he
Yeah.
did. And that's all I've been preaching is just use the pass to open up the run. You don't always have to, because if you have a balanced attack where you have the receivers that we do, and you know that their defensive backs can't go toe-to-toe with our receivers one-on-one, because if they do, you just saw it. Carnell Tate gashed them. Freaking Jeremiah Smith did it. Brandon Ennis did it. And then you just saw what our tight ends did, mainly Max Clare. They were gashing these guys. So they had to defend the pass because they didn't have a choice. Otherwise, you want them to keep. Otherwise, you're going to let them keep getting on you. And guess what? It opened up run lanes for Bo Jackson, opened up run lanes for Isaiah West and C.J. Donaldson because they had to worry about that. That's all you have to do.
That Brandon Ennis touchdown on the slant, I don't know if you guys noticed. Go back and watch that. They sent a man and they sent some guys in motion, and the entire defense, when they did that, opened up. I go, oh, here comes the slant. That's a touchdown. I mean, it was literally you were just shooting fish in a barrel at that point.
You add the rub route on top of it with Max Clare, and it was wide open underneath.
That too, because when Brandon Ennis but when I saw that route that Brandis was doing and Max Clare, I said that was so clever to just get Brandon Ennis' defender off of him and to get him open for that touchdown. That was creative.
Okay, let's go with defense next, guys. So, defensively yesterday, we gave up 63 passing yards to a freshman that you've like none other you've ever seen before.
Yeah, right.
We gave up 100 rushing yards. By the way, how many did we give up in the second half?
-8.
-8.
Sorry, I just had to throw that in there. 163 total yards for 3.9 yards per play, 9 first downs, 1 of 9 on third down, 0 of 1 on fourth down. Time of possession, 19 minutes and 59 seconds, and 1 turnover that I think Davidson Igbinosin is still celebrating about somewhere. So your defensive letter grade, Chris.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything but an A plus here. I mean, this was a top 20 offense when they came in. And, for all that criticism that Ohio State got about not playing anybody, they shut down this team. And yeah, they had 100 yards rushing, barely. But you know what? It was all that first couple drives, a couple of the big runs they had. I mean, you take those big runs out. They had a 36-yard run and a 22-yard run. You take those two runs out of the mix, they had 22 carries for 44 yards. They averaged 2 yards a carry on every carry except for those two. This defense is unbelievable. Again, Underwood under 50% completion rate. Only averaged 3.5 yards per completion. That's disgusting, man. That's disgusting. Or per attempt, rather. But anyhow, yeah, I got to go with an A+.
Corey.
A+. Just how good was the defense? We declined a holding penalty and put them in 3rd and 5 instead of 2nd and 15 because we said you ain't getting it. And TG and I were both wondering about it at the time, but looking back on it, I think we both can agree it's the ultimate sign of disrespect, and I just love it.
Yeah. Hey, A+ for me, man. No doubt about it. Look, you take away, the only thing is, I said about those 2 big run plays they had, players got out of their gaps. That happens. But it didn't happen all game. They just dominated them, suffocated them. I enjoyed it. A+, they just shut them down all game. And like I said, that 3rd and 5 play, that penalty, you and I wondered about it, and we were like, that is the most disrespectful thing, because Ohio State's like, you ain't got the offense. We ain't worried about you. Just go ahead. If this was Indiana offense, they probably going with 2nd and 15.
He probably even told the punt team to get ready.
He was like, dude, if this is Purdue or some other team in the Big Ten, yeah, we probably worried about their offense a little more than yours. So just go ahead. You can do 35. We don't care. It's that's so disrespectful.
Oh my gosh. Oh, now I have to go back and listen to watch you guys call the game. Yeah. I'm going to turn the game on when I get time and then just turn the volume off and turn you guys on and match it up and just listen to you guys, because I imagine I'm going to sit there and laugh my butt off listening to you guys celebrate.
We got loud during the touchdowns. We got loud.
We did.
Good. It got loud at Baker's, didn't it?
It should.
I'm sure it did.
Yes, it did. It was wild. Especially the one young lady at that table over there with Roy.
Yes. Okay. Donald Hoffer. Dude, someone needs to make a meme of this right now. Brutus spent more time in the end zone
I've
than TTU.
I've seen that a few times on Facebook today. Yeah.
My friend Steve says Brutus deserves a Buckeye leaf for that.
By the way, do you know that, and I talked with Eric about this last night on the show we did, that Michigan and several people on the social media was out there saying that what Brutus did was more disrespectful than planting the flag.
Okay, whatever.
I want to know where they get that from.
They're just delusional.
They are victimhood all the time. It's everybody's out to get them. They're always the victims.
Yeah, because the refs were cheating for Ohio State. That's my favorite.
Of course, that's why we had 6 penalties and they're 1. Yeah,
right, exactly.
Even though they're out there headbutting people.
Okay,
you just showed them what Ohio State's doing.
All right, we're gonna have some revisionist history here before we get into Buckeye Leafs. Chris, you and I had a conversation all the way back in August about one Philip Daniels, who was out there starting fights. Who's out there starting fights with Bo Atkinson, and who else did he get in a fight with? There was another.
Kenyatta,
Curry, Caden Curry.
Caden Curry.
And everybody's like, man, I don't know about this Philip Daniels. And I said to you, Chris, I go, we need Philip Daniels. He brings an attitude and a chippiness on that offensive line that we haven't had. And guess what? He was perfect for getting under their skin. If you go back and watch the plays leading up to the headbutt, Philip Daniels is literally, he's instigating it a little bit. But that's been his game. And you know what? If they're not going to call it, I'm sorry. It's your job to keep it under control. You didn't. And it is that those roles have been reversed for the better part of 3 decades. They instigate stuff, we react, and then we get the flag. Yesterday, it was finally good to see someone like Philip Daniels say, guys, I got this. I'll get under their skin. Watch this.
In fact, Eric, if you remember right, your exact words were, "We need him against Michigan."
Yep.
Those were your exact words.
Like
We
bingo.
needed him for that game.
Mm-hmm. Because
And by God,
he was
yeah,
gonna do to them what they have done to us for decades. And he didn't care because it's a part of his game. He gets between your ears. I love the kid. I love him.
Well,
All
let's
right.
give our guys credit for not reacting. Jair Hill tried to get Bo Jackson to
Mm-hmm.
react several times, and that's a freshman who just looked him in the face, jawed at him a little bit, but didn't do anything illegal.
And then Michigan tried to get us with the flop, but that didn't work either because the refs are like, "Nope, we're going to pick up that flag."
Hmm.
Initially threw the
Exactly.
flag, and then it's like, no, the player embellished the fall.
All right, let's jump into Buckeye Leaves. This ought to be interesting. This ought to be really, really interesting. So here's how this goes, everybody. Every game we hand out Buckeye Leaves for 4 different categories: offensive, defensive player of the game, offensive play of the game, defensive play, and or hit of the game. And there's no rules, rhyme or reason to how you can do this. I don't tell anybody what they pick. We allow every single host here on the panel to pick what they want. Chris, you'll go first. And tonight we're going to start with the offensive player of the game.
Oh man,
Good luck.
yeah. I mean, there's so many ways. You know what? I think I got to give it to Bo. Bo went out there and he ran his tail off. And as far as our backs went, he really set the tone for what we were going to do. If you remember right, his first run was a pretty decent one, and that just kind of set the tone for things. Averaged 5.3 a carry, 117 yards. Didn't get in the end zone, but you know what? That's okay because he got us in position.
I'm going to give it to a guy, but it's going to be representative of the unit as a whole. I'm giving it to Tegra Shabola because he's been much maligned. He played really well yesterday overall, but I want to have him represent the entirety of the O line. I just don't want to pull a whole, hey, I'm giving it to the whole line thing because the O line that's the best I think I've ever seen them play. Ever. I'm going back to national title seasons. I mean, there was a play in there where Bennett Christian lost his block, so the game was only a yard, but the entire line had the entire front 7 of the Michigan team pushed back 5 yards. Nobody else was in there except for Bennett Christian losing his block. It was ridiculous how they dominated that game. So, but I'm going to give it to Tegra to give. Just he's been so maligned this year. He's played up and down. Obviously, give him the Buckeye lead for having a good game.
Yeah, for me, I'm actually go with Chris, and I'm gonna say Bo Jackson because he actually did set the tone for this game. Like, yeah, while he might not have gotten into the end zone, his plays, especially that play against that Michigan player where he just juked him out of his shoes and almost took it straight to the house, that had me going crazy. I was like, dang, Bo. So yeah, no, I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna give that one to Bo.
And we got 2 more years of this guy.
Right? It reminded me so much of J.K. Dobbins. I found that so funny. I was like, this guy is running like J.K. in this game, in this scum game. That's how he was running.
And I went with Bo, but I pulled a Corey here tonight. I didn't do any notes before tonight's show, but there was another guy who definitely deserves some mention. And Corey talked about that offensive line. Eric, how many times did you look at me and say, "Look at where Austin's got his guy now"?
He took that defensive end sometimes and drove him 10 yards down the field.
Yeah, he did.
Go back and watch.
Multiple times.
The play will be over, and you'll be like, who's 67? Why is he so far down the field? That's because his one-on-one block, he was dominating that defensive end. It was crazy. There's at least 4 or 5 times he drove him 10 yards or more.
I wonder who that defensive end is. I wonder if it was Derek Moore for talking all that trash he was doing earlier, because that would be the funniest thing if it was.
All Big Ten left tackle Austin Searle, just like we all predicted 2 years ago.
Another guy you can shout out, obviously, is like we all talked about earlier, is Phillip Daniels, and especially because he was not only dominated, but like Eric said, he was getting in their head. Like, oh boy.
Maybe Corey's onto something. Maybe the whole offensive line just needs a Buckeye leaf, Eric.
Well,
honestly, all of them do. Luke, Tegra, Carson, man, all 3 of them dudes were doing their thing, especially Tegra.
In fact, if we were going to only have 3 on, when we have a panel of 4, I don't count myself. I just let you guys do it. But if we didn't, if TG wasn't going to be able to jump on tonight, and I couldn't get a hold of Bart, then I was going to be the third one, and I was going to pick the entire offensive line. I was going to pull an Aaron and do that. So I'm glad you did that, Corey. Thank you for mentioning that. Let's instead of flipping over to the defensive MVP, let's stay on the offensive side tonight, Chris. Let's go with the offensive play of the game.
Man, there were some good ones. There were some good ones. There's one that really sticks out to me, and that's Jeremiah Smith's touchdown. And why? Because did he fumble? Didn't he fumble? Who cares? It's pissing off Michigan fans still right now. They're still on social media right now crying about it. So I'm taking that play. That is my favorite play of the game.
Corey.
Oh man, I'm torn. I want to go with the Bo Jackson run. It did end up in a touchdown, but man, that was sweet. And stutter stepping those two defenders and making them run into each other. It reminded me of Braxton Miller a couple of times from 2011 when he pulled that in Ann Arbor. It was. I'll go with Bo. But the Tate touchdown also was in my mind because it was so wide open. I remember TG and I were calling it, and I was going, "He's throwing it deep." What? Oh, that's why, because he's wide open. So. But I'll go with Bo because honestly our run game had been maligned all year. We didn't know what it would be, and Bo answered the call and just gave us what we needed that game.
Honestly, all three of the running backs did. If I had to say for mine, I did like Bo's, but I'm going to go with Carnell Tate because of how badly he was cooking them DBs that got open. So I'm going to take that one.
Yeah, that touchdown catch, man, he was so open. Like
that safety was just I don't know what he was doing.
Worried about Jeremiah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's worried about Jeremiah, but you have no help to the center. It's like, well, at least you got the sideline as an extra defender against Jeremiah. You got nothing in the middle of the field for Carnell.
We just mentioned three different ones, and there's been a couple in the chat that have been mentioned that should be highlighted too. Ennis's touchdown, Kasmerik's catch over the middle. That was a massive catch. That was not the best thrown football, and he went up there and got that because if he tips that and doesn't catch it, might have been a second interception. So that was a massive catch there.
And
absolutely
extended the drive.
And let's not forget about Brutus's touchdown in the end zone when he crossed out the X and dotted the I. Brutus getting himself in the end zone there, man. Yeah, good job, Chad, on you guys making sure we didn't miss those. All right, let's go over the defensive side of the ball now, Chris. Let's start with our defensive player of the game.
You know, wasn't the flashiest stat line, but I'm telling you, there's a young man that needs mentioned. He only had, I think, 3 tackles yesterday, but he was good in coverage.
No, here it is.
Lorenzo Styles Jr.
Yep.
Man, he was out there popping. Those 3 tackles/hits he made were big, and they were in important moments. One or the other or both. So I'm going to go with Lorenzo Styles Jr.
Corey.
I'm going with his brother, Sonny. First of all, Sonny, for crying out loud, got us the first holding call in 2 years, which was incredible. Sonny's actually quietly become a really good player off the edge recently, and he's actually, I don't want to say outshine Arvell, but he's at least playing at his level. And Sonny's been just getting better and better. I mean, he did what he did last year. He just keeps getting better and better as the season goes on. Plus, I think he's providing that defensive leadership along with Caleb Downs that we, that every team needs. And Sonny seems to be a mouthpiece for the defense. So I think he had a great game. He had 6 tackles, I believe. He got, I think, a tackle for loss, and he got pressure on the quarterback.
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to say Caleb Downs just because of the fact that, because I remember going back and watch some of the plays and how he was hitting some of them guys too. Like, man, I was like, them hits he was doing. Like Lorenzo, like Sonny, I'm like, oh, dang, Caleb, Jesus.
We making Eric work on that thing tonight.
After the last couple of weeks where it's all been the same, you guys are all like, hey, let's do 3 different ones every single time. No problem. Let's go with our defensive play or hit of the game.
There was too many just violent hits. Too many violent hits to choose from. So you know what? I'm going to go with what I feel is the play of the game. Give Iggy some love. Give Iggy a little bit of love for that interception. Nobody enjoyed that game more than he did yesterday, I'll tell you.
Yeah.
Well, and he also got a BSPI call on him that
Yeah.
TG and I were pissed about those PI calls. I will say that I'm going to go with Caleb Downs' hit late in the game. Was it consequential? No, but if you look at every time one of these teams wins, there's always some kind of big pop in the flat. I remember Sean Wade had one a few years back, I think in 18, and then they've had a couple on us at times. I definitely feel Caleb kind of like put the exclamation point on the dominance of that day.
Yeah. Arvell Reese had a massive hit too.
Oh, it was a
Uh,
screen.
yeah,
Yeah, he cut
that
him in half.
was yeah, that was a big time hit. We'll see if TG hops back on here in just a second. If not, I'll
There
oh,
she is.
There
there
she is.
she is. Well, maybe.
Sort of.
We'll give her a second here. But yeah, Arvell Reese had a huge hit. Yeah, Bobby Mack, there you are, man. You agree. There she is. Um, TG,
Yeah, sorry about that, guys. For
yeah,
some reason, my Wi-Fi has been acting up.
no problem. It's probably Connor Stein's. Let's go with your defensive play or hit of the game, TG.
If I had to say mine, it would be the Iggy interception for sure. I
Okay,
love that.
it was good for him, wasn't it? Do you think he was looking
Hmm.
for his mom in the stands while he was running down the field? That's why he took his helmet off. Where's my mom? I got to give her the real interception ball this time because the last one didn't count. I don't know, but oh
Probably.
man, sorry. Go ahead, TG. What were you gonna say?
I said probably that he was probably was, and I think for his mom that would be a great gift right there. Honestly, he should have got the other interception, but you know what? You can't do nothing about these refs calling PI now.
No kidding. No kidding. All right, guys, we're going to take a quick commercial break. When we come back, we're going to dive into everything else with this game, and then we're going to actually turn the page. We're going to look at Indiana and the Big Ten Championship this game. We'll be back in just a couple minutes. We have new merch just in time for the most wonderful time of the year. Get your OHIO podcast t-shirts, hoodies, and hats, and more thanks to our partnership with King Kong Bart and his printing company in Bucyrus, Ohio. That's right. You can now rest assured that when you purchase merchandise from the OHIO podcast, it is being printed and shipped right here from the Buckeye State. And even better than that, you can financially support your favorite hosts. For instance, if you want to support Mika, you can do so by purchasing her Illuminati merch. 50% of all profits will be shared with each host upon payments. Get your new OHIO pod merch by clicking on the link below this video, the link provided on our YouTube channel, or by visiting our website at theohiopodcast.com. Just click on the store link and it'll take you straight to our new online store. So what are you waiting on? Help support your favorite Ohio State podcast, your favorite hosts, and share your Buckeye pride all year round. OH! All right, guys, let's dive into this game on the aspect of I want to get your guys' impression about moving forward. What does this mean for Ryan Day emotionally, mentally, as the head coach of Ohio State? Yes, Buck Vader says we need to give Brutus a Buckeye leaf. We'll give him one on the graphic. Honorary Buckeye leaf. It's Buck Vader. We'll do that for you. What does this game, getting this win, mean? If you watched Ryan Day in the post-game press conference, there was definitely pressure on him he was carrying because it was I got this off my back. I'll start with you, Chris. We'll go around. What do you think this game means for Ryan Day moving forward, having now finally beaten them after having to hear about it for 4 years?
This was redemption. It was a catharsis for him. He was vindicated yesterday, 100%. Uh, he came out before the game was doing an interview, Eric, and I looked over at you and I said, "Look at that smile on his face. He is loose. He's relaxed. These guys are in trouble." He now realizes What it took a lot of us, not me, of course, because I always had the faith, but what it took a lot of us so long to realize, and that is that right now he is the best coach in college football. Highest winning percentage. He's a national title winner. And now he's finally gotten that monkey off his back of not being able to beat Michigan with his guys. He has developed a culture at Ohio State that people want to be a part of. And in this day of NIL, in this day of the transfer portal, don't get me wrong. Players are still going to come to Ohio State for NIL, but they're coming for something more. They're coming for Ryan Day. They're coming for the culture he's instilled in this team. It's a special place to be. And moving forward, I don't know that anything's going to stop it. A few years ago, before I had my meltdown, okay, I'm going to fess up. Before I had my meltdown, I had said Ryan Day could be on the verge of taking us on a Nick Saban type of run. And then I lost my mind when he lost to Michigan that year. And that was 2 years ago. And then last year, when he did it again, I started to doubt a little bit. I think that's a good way to put it. I doubted a little bit. But you know what? I may be back on that bandwagon. He may have made me believe again. And to make me believe, I know he has to believe in himself. I don't think there's any stopping Ryan Day right now. I really don't. He's going to go as far as his talent will take him now. Before it was his talent was carrying him. Now it is Ryan Day and his philosophy and his mentality and the way he's running this program that I think is carrying the talent. It's that much of a game changer. He is the best coach in college football right now. And if he finishes this season with a national title win, presuming that he's going to stick around a few more years and get a couple more cracks at Michigan, we have to start talking about Ryan Day as the second best coach in Ohio State history. That's what this game did for him yesterday.
Corey.
Well, he still has one monkey on his back. He's got to beat him in Columbus. So I'm going to go ahead and look. I love Ryan Day. I'm not like saying, well, I won't trust you until that. No, none of that nonsense. But it's just saying that there's one more thing he's going to do, and he's going to do it next year. We got Jeremiah, Bo, and Julian coming back. He's going to, and if Matt Patricia, God willing, he comes back, they're going to do it again next year. However, I will say this for Ryan Day. This game was a microcosm of his change. Like when everything's going wrong in the first 5-6 minutes and he doesn't clam up, he just looks at Julian. We good? Okay, we're good. We're going to keep being aggressive. And he didn't shrink in the moment. It didn't matter. He's bulletproof now. Winning the national title made him secure in who he is as a coach. He's confident now. Whereas on top of that, it validated the whole, we're going to keep our process. Because everybody outside the Woody seems to say, you have to emphasize it a certain way and do it our way. He's like, yeah, we know the game's important. But we know what got us here, and we need to stick to that. And a lot of people were questioning him on that last week when it came out. I love that he did that. I love that he said that. Because that's people who would accuse him saying he doesn't get the game. He gets the game perfectly well, but he gets, more importantly, what makes Ohio State run, and he's confident in his system and his process. And he was validated on Saturday by not just beating them, but beating them his way. As we said before, he doesn't have to feel like he has to match Michigan and be bully ball right off the bat. He said, look, we are a pass-first team with the run as a complement, and we will do that to this team. And he did it to perfection with Brian Hartline and the offensive staff on Saturday. It was one of the most, like I said, satisfying wins against Michigan because we got to beat the crap out of them. This wasn't some fluky ball bouncing our way type of thing. We flat out dominated them for at least 3/4 of the game. Flat out dominated them. And when things were going wrong, he didn't clam up. So Ryan Day is validated by his system, by his culture, by his approach. He can be confident in who he is as a coach. And as Chris said, he is the best head coach in college football right now.
Absolutely. And if you had to ask me, I would say that this game really did cement Ryan Day as to who he is as a coach. The best coach in all of college football, people. He created, unlike folks down in Georgia, we don't have no culture issues. He built the perfect culture where we actually have players that want to be here to be Buckeyes, that want to be part of something that feels like a brotherhood, that feels like a family, where families can trust him with their kids. He's also did something that we all told him to do before, something that he knows now himself. Beat teams your way. Don't fall down to their level. Don't worry about what the media is doing. It does not matter what they're saying. If you want them to respect you, make them respect you. Don't fall into their bait. Don't fall into their game. Don't fall into none of that. Play your game, win, and do it convincingly, and you will be the best coach. You will be respected no matter how much they want to tear you down. Ask Trussell, ask Urban, ask any coach that ever coached here at Ohio State. You will be hated as the Buckeye head coach, but if you continue to dominate, you continue to handle business your way, they're going to respect you no matter how much they dislike you. And I said it before, 2024, that game is what we needed. That's what Ryan Day needed. And I think even he realizes that too. That loss is what he needed to help him get out of his own way, to mold himself as a head coach, to take himself to another level as well as this team. And I think that this Ryan Day, we on the verge of the next dynasty, I think, at Ohio State. Some that we've been looking for a while, that we've come very close to. We may actually have a chance with him now.
It's interesting you bring that up, Mika. I was thinking of, I called you Mika, TG. I was reading Mika's comment. By the way, if you like that, check out the Buckeye Ladies. You'll get more of that Thursday nights. It's interesting you bring that up, TG, because I was thinking about this earlier. He's done, for the most part, he's already tied Tressel and Urban for a national championship. Already got that. He doesn't have the record against the team up north, but neither one of those guys had to deal with a cheating scandal going on against him either. Neither one of those guys had to deal with the NCAA changing rules, multiple rules every single year on NIL, transfer portal, all of that. Massive change. And he has handled all of that incredibly well. The one thing we haven't had at Ohio State, we've only had it one time, and that is what you would consider a dynasty. Under Woody Hayes, we had a dynasty run. Some would argue that it wasn't because it spanned a longer period of time between national championships, but there was a span in there when he won 3 national championships in what was it, 9 years, I think, something like that. That's pretty much a dynasty. If Ryan Day wins another national championship, the argument can be made that it's Woody and Ryan. And for a Tressel guy like me, that sounds sacrilegious to say. But man, he's on the doorsteps. And I mentioned this last night. I'm gonna mention it again right here. If he wins his next 4 games, that'll be 20 wins in a row, 11 of which were against top 25 ranked opponents. Many of them are going to be actually top 10 ranked opponents. I don't know that has ever been done in college football history. That includes Woody's era. That includes anything Nick Saban did. That includes Paul Bear Bryant, Newt Rockne. I don't think any of them have had a run of 20 straight with 11 wins over top 25 opponents like that. That would be incredible, people. And he's got the players and the team, and most importantly, they're healthy and they are confident right now. And so Cignetti in Indiana is next on the docket. And I think they might get the best shot of beating Ohio State might come in Indianapolis Saturday. I think there might be a little bit better of opponent matchup wise against Ohio State than Indiana in the playoffs. We'll have to explore that. But you got to admit, man, Indiana is playing very similarly to Ohio State when it comes to just dominating your opponents week in and week out. So something has to give there. Oh, wait a minute. Ryan Day's gold pants showed up to say Signetti doesn't want any.
But
I'll
Eric,
say this.
what?
Like, I'm gonna say this. Like with Ryan Day, he said it. He wants to have the argument of becoming one of, if not the greatest head coach in Ohio State's history. So he chasing that, and that's what you actually love to hear. He ain't satisfied with one. He wants to get another, and more until he can finally assemble himself. And I know he wants to beat the team up north more so he can cement that fully. So I hope he does. I loved Urban Meyer. I love Tressel. I loved Urban. But if Ryan Day can do that, I'll put him above both of them. And if Ryan Day can go on the Nick Saban like run, I love you, Woody. Even if I never seen you coach, I wasn't born during your era. I love you too, but if Ryan Day can go on a Nick Saban like run, I'm putting Ryan Day ahead of him. I don't care.
I mean, it's a completely different era. It's a lot harder to win today than it was then.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Great question, by the way, George. I started. We're going to get to it, but let's get to this real fast, Chris. We had a super chat from Bobby Mack earlier. $2 holla. Super chats always go to the front of the line. Will the CFP committee keep Ole Miss out now? No way. Let me tell you why. SEC, baby. They earned it, and they're in the SEC. You agree, Chris?
I agree 100%. Why should the players be penalized because the coach is deciding to leave? Next coach up, Eric. You never know what that fall is going to be from the top. But I would, if Ohio State for some reason cannot win this thing, I think they're going to. I have a lot of faith they're going to. But if not, would it not be hilarious to watch a Lane Kiffinless Ole Miss win it if Ohio State can?
Did it tell you who the problem was?
Corey?
No, I think they'll be in, and they made a quick hire of the permanent head coach, the defensive coordinator, because Lane's trying to take the whole offensive staff to LSU with them. But that was probably a good hire by them to keep continuity. So, and also because they understand what the opportunity is to get into the playoff. So I think they'll be rewarded for a quick decision and a guy that people know within the program to be the head coach and quickly assert his his authority there. So I actually don't think they'll be hammered at all by the committee.
Same. Oh no, I say the same.
Yeah.
There is one thing to take into consideration now.
What's that?
What is
That
it?
Lane Kiffin's a jerk?
Well, we know Lane Kiffin's a jerk.
Yeah.
What if players start to transfer?
Wait till after your season? Go try to win it first.
Yeah, well, I agree, but that portal window opens up during playoff.
True.
Prep.
That's a great point. Well, I'll say this, and then we'll move on. When I was talking to our sister podcast over at the College Huddle, who cover Ole Miss weeks ago, they were already moving on from him. This has been brewing with that fan base, that administration, that athletic department, and Lane Kiffin for a couple years, and they're sick of the drama. And Lane Kiffin's last little, hey, I'm leaving, but please let me coach this team, was a straw this fan base was not going to handle. Go look it up, guys. There's a video out there. He's walking away. He's at the airport in Oxford, getting on a private jet, leaving after talking to his team. There are fans there giving him the business when he gets on that plane. Go look up the video. They were sick of his drama. He literally he is perfect for Twitter. He's the perfect coach for Twitter. He's the worst coach possible to sustain a longevity in your program because he loves to be courted. He loves to be flirted with. And if LSU thinks that this is going to end rosy for them, I just don't see it. It's going to end badly because they all have. But the thing about it is this: I do think with his talent offensively, he will be successful at LSU, and I do think LSU will be in the playoffs sooner rather than later with him. I do believe
Most
that.
definitely. Most definitely. That's the one thing you can say is like LSU did get this hire right from a coaching standpoint. It's just that this guy might not be the best for longevity, so you better hope you got a backup plan for just in case.
Is there any thought about how this could affect his recruiting, though? I mean, are you going to want to be the guy that goes to play for the guy that walked out on his team? I understand the money aspect, Corey, but are you going to want to be the guy that goes to play for the guy who walked out on his team 2 weeks before or 3 weeks before the playoff starts?
You obviously can recruit against that with that down there in the SEC, and don't think that they won't. But the thing about it is, every single one of those coaches in the SEC has, other than maybe what, Kirby and Ballberry at Tennessee, the coaches in the SEC, man, they are constantly rotating. So you can't even really say, hey, you don't want to go. He left his team because you just left your team 2 or 3 years before that.
It's a matter of when you left your team, not that you left your team. You left your playoff team high and dry to go take another job. Now, at the same time, part of this falls on LSU because they pushed for that deadline date. But, so... all right. I have a hard time with it.
Yeah, I get it. I understand. But it's the SEC, man.
Not to mention, like with the other SEC coaches, all of them got fired. You just straight up and left.
Right.
Like, and you got a playoff team. Like, what were you thinking?
Shout out Alex Golish from The Ohio State University, graduate of The Ohio State University, a new coach at Auburn, by the way. USF's coach, Alex Golish. He's took the job at Auburn.
Did you see Tyler's comment?
What was that?
He asked, "Does this begs the question now? Is Blake going to take his underwear back down to LSU now with Lane Kiffin as the head coach?"
Bryce. Oh, he might. I mean, I would if I was Bryce. Say whatever you want about Kiffin.
Look at the game you just came off of. The lack of development you've had all year. And now you've got the opportunity with this guy and his offense back at LSU where you wanted to go to begin with.
I mean, it's true. I mean, think about it. Look at what Lane Kiffin's offense has done for quarterbacks. Look at what it did for Jackson Dart. I mean, if I was him, I would.
Oh my gosh. I just saw the comment from Buck Vader. Did you guys see it?
No, I missed it, actually.
Michigan State with the best hire. Guess who they are hiring?
Yeah, they're hiring
Pat Fitzgerald.
Pat Fitzgerald.
Yeah.
Buckle up, boys.
That worries me. They actually could become a power again.
They really could. I saw that and I was like, wow.
I don't think he's good enough to make him a threat to us, but he is going to own Michigan.
Did you think that D'Antonio was enough to make him a threat to us?
I mean, at the same time, once Urban got that one figured out.
Yeah, I will say this about Pat Fitzgerald because he is a really good coach, and
I like Pat.
Northwestern has been like there are times Northwestern was a problem. I remember 2019. For granted, it's the COVID year, and we were missing some players, but Northwestern did give us some problems. It took what Trey Sermon to have himself one of the best games for us to actually win that game, because Justin had his worst game I think of the season since the Indiana game. So Pat Fitzgerald actually can give Ohio State some problems. It's just that I don't think he's going to give. I'll say this: I don't think he'll be as big of a threat to Ohio State as of right now, but he could give us some problems down the line. He could.
But I think Corey's right. Michigan.
Yeah.
Well, he'll definitely own them. They ain't no doubt about that.
That is worst case scenario for them. That is worst case scenario for them. Yeah.
That guy defines toughness.
Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying I don't like the hire. It's a perfect hire for Michigan State, 100%. It's finally it feels like they finally got it right, if anything. So,
wow, that blows my mind. I knew he was going to.
Wait, why didn't Penn State go after him? Is what I want to know.
Thank you. I've been saying that for over a month. I'm like, what are you idiots doing? We don't want, he's got a little bit of a reputation. Oh, you mean the reputation where he sued the college and they had to pay him because he was fired unjustly? That reputation. Well, things happened back in the day, and
you're talking about something regarding the freaking the little weedy wash. Like, who cares?
Dude coached ball. He got more out of his teams than any other coach in the Big Ten while he coached. And now he's going to get some better players, too, on top of that.
Oh, heck yeah, bro. Oh, man, Michigan State, man, they finna be real good.
They are. Like, it might take him a couple years because they're down bad right now. But he'll get his guys in there. That's gonna be good.
You want Kirby, Penn State guy? Okay, sure. Mm-hmm.
I mean, no, dude, you're not gonna get either one of them. But like, Troy V basically said it. Like at Northwestern, he really was giving us some good games.
You might go to get Matt Rule now.
Mm-hmm.
His buyout's even more. Could you imagine they didn't do it and then he gets the raise at Nebraska and then they still have to buy him out. They go get back. Listen, I think they're going to keep who they got. I think they're going to keep the intern.
Yeah.
Terry Smith, yeah.
I think Terry Smith stays and they do a really extensive this is his chance to audition while they do an extensive search next season.
And it's probably what they should do. Extend them another season and say, hey, see how you do next year. And give them here's the expectations.
They're just waiting for Brian Hartline.
It's not going to happen.
That's the whole year. They're going to wait another year for Brian Hartline.
I wouldn't be surprised, but that's like it. But hiring. I mean, did you guys not just get done hiring Jim Knowles? I ain't saying I'm not saying that Brian Hartline is Jim Knowles, but we see how well that worked out for y'all, didn't it?
They gave up how many points to Rutgers yesterday? 36.
36, almost 40.
What did they win? Was it
40 to 36?
Yeah, I mean, 36 points to Rutgers, bro?
That's rough.
And you didn't do that when you were here with us, so like
worth every penny.
And here's the thing: Rutgers handed them 7 points at the end of that game.
Yeah.
Because they were driving, and they were going to give up more, and they were going to lose to Rutgers. A win is it is.
True, a win is a win, man. But, man,
you're right, and we are happy. I want to be one of the first. I am happy they got that win. I'm happy they can end that team. That team can end on a positive note. This was Corey's pick to win the national championship.
I stand by it. I think they're going to come back and win it.
And let me tell you, I'm glad they are at least finishing bowl eligible.
Chip Kelly to Penn State, love it.
Oh, please.
Y'all
sign me up, Sean, for that, dude.
The matchup.
Oh, gosh. No, actually, Brian Kelly would be better. Give him Brian Kelly. Yeah. Chip Kelly, they don't want him. They wouldn't want him.
And he doesn't want to be a head coach.
Nope.
Nah, he don't.
Yeah. All right. Who's had the best hire so far? Let's see if we can go through them in our minds. Michigan State just got Pat Fitz, right?
Well, I think the Auburn hire is awful good.
Auburn, Alex Golish, LSU, Kiffin. It's going to be announced, I think, tomorrow.
Eric, here's the thing about Kiffin, real quick. Kiffin is either going to be really good for LSU or just like train wreck city because there's no in between.
Agreed. You have Florida tomorrow is going to get John Summerall from Tulane. That's the rumor that's out there.
Yeah.
Virginia Tech got James Franklin. Stanford hired someone you've never heard of. I can't even remember his name.
Who wants to coach Stanford?
Tech getting James Franklin, I think is going to be underrated on a lot of people's list. I think that is a great move. He is going to do well in the ACC.
Yeah.
I really think this is a guy that went toe-to-toe with Ohio State and Michigan. Didn't have the greatest record against them, obviously. He didn't win a lot against them. But he went toe-to-toe with Ohio State and Michigan during their most powerful era. And
Chris, I'm pretty sure you and I could form a staff in the ACC and do well.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And now you got this guy who's actually a very, very good coach. He just couldn't get over the hump of Ohio State.
Oh
I
yeah.
just thought of something. Oregon State hired the defensive coordinator from Alabama, didn't they?
I think it was. Yeah, no, it was the receiver coach, I think. And
No,
I remember
are you sure?
it was Shepard. His last name was Shepard, John Shepard or something like that. He was the receiver
I
coach.
thought he was either DC or OC.
Mm-mm.
Anyways, here's what the chat says. Outcast says LSU, so he says Kiffin. Brian Oberst says Michigan State.
I like that one so
Ohio
much.
State 92 says that's Virginia Tech. Mika says right now she thinks it's MSU or Auburn. Penn State Sports Talk says not Arkansas. Did they even hire anybody
We
yet?
got the Memphis coach, I think.
Oh, did they just grab him? Okay.
Mhm.
Um,
That's a good. Obi had a great comment. Manny Diaz to Penn State's kind
And
of
I
interesting.
mentioned that once before when we had this conversation. Right
That's
after
true. I
Mike
do
went
remember
away.
that, Chris. Yeah.
yeah, he's definitely still in the
They're going to the ACC title game.
yeah.
After
Okay,
like
here
a
it is.
Five-way
Thank you.
tie or whatever.
Nick had to look it up, but here it is. Tavita Pritchard is the Stanford coach. Okay, here's a little trivia about this guy because I remember reading this. I looked it up. Pritchard was replaced by Andrew Luck as starter when Andrew Luck was a freshman. And Andrew Luck, who's now the GM at Stanford, just hired the guy he replaced when he was quarterback there. So they're
He
keeping
was a
it in the
QB coach
family.
at Washington Generals or Commanders or whatever the heck they're called. So
Schrock, who takes the Florida job? I think it's a
the
Summerall is
Tulsa
going to
guy.
get it.
Yeah.
Yeah, from
Yeah,
Tulsa.
Jason.
John Summerall or whatever.
John Summerall.
John Summerall. My bad.
Pat
by the way,
Summerall.
it is-
Pat Summerall's going to get it.
I don't think
Oh, by
that
the
she
way.
would do well there.
The Oregon State coaching job is indeed Jamarcus Shepard, the former Alabama wide receiver coach.
Was he just wide receiver coach, or was he actually?
No, he's
OC?
been there for a while. He was when Kellen DeBoer took the job over at Alabama. He brought Jamarcus Shepard over there with him from Washington.
Right. Because he's coached in the Northwest before. That's part of what the appeal was he's recruited this area, he knows the area well, type of thing.
Yeah.
So is Hartline off of everybody's list? I'll say this: he's not off of people's lists, but he hasn't put himself on anybody's list. If you catch what I'm saying,
He's
they might
happy.
put him on their list. That doesn't mean he's going anywhere.
Is Penn State going to get Deshaun Foster? Is what I want to know.
Did you know Penn State is not in LA?
But it's in Pennsylvania, Eric.
Yes. Is anybody surprised Norvell's still with FSU? Yeah, I am actually.
In a way,
for the
moment. Yeah, kind
But I think it's a statement about what we see going on right now. Look at the coaches that are being hired right now and the jobs they're going to. Let's face it, some of these coaches are a reach, Eric.
Sure.
Yeah.
And I don't think this is a market that's going to be very friendly to an FSU when you looked at some of the jobs that were out there. True. That's the same reason that I'm sure, and we love Luke Fickell, but that's the same reason that Luke Fickell is going to be back at Wisconsin next year.
Yep. 100%. One last coaching question, and then we're going to turn the page and we're going to talk about Indiana and the Big Ten championship game. Alex Golesh, former Ohio State graduate, didn't play at Ohio State, didn't play college football. I believe he was Westerville Central is where he went to high school. I thought he went to Dublin. He graduated from Dublin, but he coached at Westerville Central for 1 year before coaching at Ohio State as like a GA. Paid his dues, coming up the coaching ranks. Do you think his fiery kind of like, I ain't going to take nothing from no one type of guy, like he's had several dust-ups at coaches' handshakes in the past couple years, is exactly what the doctor ordered for Auburn when it comes to this rivalry in the Iron Bowl?
I don't remember ordering anything.
I would say, yeah.
I didn't say you ordered it. I said that this rivalry ordered.
No, you say this is what the doctor ordered.
Oh,
Yeah, it's what
okay.
the doctor ordered in this reverie.
Yeah.
That's what you
I
said.
did have
Eric.
Dr. Pepper tonight, so thanks for
That
the
was
pepper, doctor.
fantastic, admit it.
Yes, it was. It was great. Do you think that that's exactly what the rivalry ordered up in this instance, Chris?
Yeah, absolutely. That's what they need. They need a fiery, in your face type of guy who's going to really take it right at not only Alabama in the Iron Bowl, but really take it at every coach in the ACC who isn't, or I'm
Or
sorry,
SEC?
SEC, the SEC, and not back down and just throw everything he's got at him. I love the way this guy has coached, and I really believe that this is a job he's earned, and I think it is going to be a really good fit and a really good hire for Auburn.
Corey?
It's Auburn. Who cares?
War Eagle.
I mean, Kalen DeBoer is going to Penn State anyway, so I mean.
Oh, according to Penn State Sports Talk? Yeah, gotcha.
I don't know how. I mean, is it what the rivalry needed? I mean, I don't think about the rivalry, to be honest with you, because it's the SEC football. It doesn't mean as much.
It's true. I think it actually, even though I'm not gonna lie, I think that's exactly what Auburn needs, because you do need that type of coach. Unlike what you had with the previous one, you need someone that can actually get in somebody's face that don't take no ish.
Corey, I would agree with you. Last night, I think DeBoer was definitely about 7 points from going to Penn State because they were about to run him out of Alabama had he lost that Iron Bowl.
100%.
Because they would have been out of the playoff picture.
And if they lose to Georgia, they're probably not in the playoffs. So.
Alex strikes me as the type of guy who's going to find something that he doesn't like about Caleb DeBoer, and he's going to build this entire mindset around how this guy at Alabama has wronged everybody in the state of Alabama and who loves Auburn football, and build this entire almost facade around this thing. And I think that's exactly what Auburn needs in this thing.
Be careful who you make the bad guy.
Yeah. One more coaching question. I lied. Is Urban Meyer going to come back ever in college football, Chris?
No, Urban's done. I think he's happy in the announce booth. I know that Shelley's happy with him in the announce booth. I think we're happy with him in the announce booth because he got a grant from Portnoy for the NIL funds. So, no, I think everybody's happy with Urban in the announce booth, including himself. I think at times he probably does have the fire because he's such a competitor. But I think that Shelley probably shuts that down real quick, and I think he's going to enjoy retirement.
Corey? Okay. DG?
No.
Okay. All right. I just thought I'd throw it out there.
There's one job that would bring him back. If Ohio State needed somebody for a year or two to carry.
I would say just for the postseason.
Yeah,
I could see him doing a postseason run with the Buckeyes if Ryan Day had to leave for whatever reason, and they just needed someone in there to right the ship for the postseason. Very similar to what Wisconsin did a couple times with Barry Alvarez, coming in coaching a bowl game for them. All right, guys, let's talk about Indiana a little bit, and let's talk about this Big Ten championship game. First off, for any of you who get the opportunity to go to the Big Ten championship game, I highly recommend it. It is a fantastic trip. There's not a bad seat in the house. So if you're like, oh my gosh, all they've got are the nosebleeds, take them. The Lucas Oil Stadium is one of the best stadiums I have ever had got to watch a football game in. It is fantastic. The drive's not that bad from Central Ohio. Just jump on 70 West and head out there. If you get the chance to go out early, they do a big thing over at the Convention Center, which is actually right across the street from Lucas Oil Stadium. So it's all right there. And it's a fantastic time. So if you get the opportunity to go, do it. Go. Any concern that this is going to feel more like a home game for the Hoosiers, given the fact that the early sales I saw were mostly in the past week, going to people who lived in the state of Indiana for this game. Any concern about that, Chris?
No, no. We'll show up. We'll have Buckeyes there. I'm not worried about this one bit as far as the crowd turnout. Not only that, but for me, I just feel like I don't. I'm still having a hard time with Indiana as a legitimate threat, anyhow.
Well,
And don't get me wrong,
get ready.
The statistics support it, but we'll come back around, I'm sure, at another time, and we'll talk about how those statistics came to be. So.
Yeah, look at that. Look at that. Nosebleeds are starting at about $3.72 a ticket, which means after fees you're probably at $4.25 or more.
Well, when you've got both teams within 2 hours of the stadium.
Well, Bloomington's less than what? An hour and a half?
It's about an hour and a half. Columbus a couple hours out.
Corey,
how well did you drive?
Any concern about this turning into a home game for the Hoosiers?
I hope it is a home game for the Hoosiers. I hope they have 100% of their fans there so they watch us beat their ass right in front of them.
That's right. That's right.
Woo, Corey, you are chippy tonight, man.
I'm with Chris.
I would love that.
Go beat up on Oregon. Oregon's not Ohio State. Go beat up on Penn State. Penn State's not Ohio State. You haven't faced anything like us. You're about to be shocked.
But when they do play a team with a defense, Corey, when they do play a team with a defense.
Mendoza looks average when that happens.
Like Iowa, it's a 20-15 game. Like Oregon, it's a 30-20 game. Like Penn State, it's a 27-24 game.
Mm-hmm.
And none of those three teams have an offense like Ohio State.
Nope.
No. And like I said, I ain't worried about it. I know for a fact Buckeye fans will show up. I'm actually with Corey almost. Like, if it is a full-on stadium, I want Ohio State to just beat their ass in front of their fans just to shut them up. But I ain't worried about it. Like, with Indiana, they're a great team. Let me say this now. They got 2 great wide receivers, a good offensive line, good run game, and a great quarterback. I can give Mendoza his flowers. However, I've already said this on this show. Or honestly, I've said it on the show, and then I've said it on before I jumped on with you guys. I already said it. When you see this Indiana team, when they go up against a team that has equal talent, or even better potentially talent than they do, they look average. It's not hard. Like, look at the Penn State game. That's actually one of the biggest ones. Because it's like with Penn State, while they have been a bad team, while they haven't won as many games in the Big Ten Conference, they're still a excellent, very talented team. They have all the talent to match up with Indiana. And look at what their defense did against Mendoza. Like, imagine Mendoza going up against that Ohio State defense. How you think he's going to look? And then look at their defense against Penn State's offense. And even Iowa's offense, for that matter. Like, they were good, but not great. Like, you face an offense like this. And then on top of that, too, Indiana, the other thing is they don't have depth like that. Because I would tell you this. It really just takes one injury for their season to not go good. For them to not go good. Like, for Ohio State, it would take Ohio State losing all their best players. Like, it would take us losing both JJ and Carnell. Along with Max Clare. And I would even say lose Caleb Downs or Arvell Reese. I'm going to say also on defense, let's see here. Maybe Jermaine Matthews. I don't know. Like, it would just really take us having a lot of injuries, not going like just to take away some of our best players for us to not really for our team to not be good. But you're not worried about it as much because you got the depth at least. And that's what you can't say about Indiana. You cannot say that about them. You really can't.
Is Drake trying to say in this comment that Indiana is the best offense in college football?
Has.
Indiana has the best offense?
That's what he's trying to say.
Statistically?
When they play Purdue, they have the best offense in college football.
Statistically, they're not even close. They're like they're 5th, I think.
If I'm
not mistaken.
That's pretty close.
I think for a lot of people, I think they're trying to look up the points that they put up. And I say, guys, they have to put up those points against those teams. Like, Ohio State doesn't have to do that because everybody knows who Ohio State is. Indiana's not respected like Ohio State. Let's get that out the way now.
Great question. And I was going to get to that. You beat me to it, RDCB. Does this game decide the
Yes.
Heisman? Yes or
I,
no,
be-
and why,
I
Chris?
believe
Oh,
it does. Yes.
absolutely,
Because it's
absolutely.
one
If you
versus two in the Heisman race. It's Julian versus Mendoza, the two favorites. So, yeah, it's absolutely between them.
and right now, if you look at this game, no matter what anybody wants to say, Julian Sayin, I think, still has to be considered the favorite. Yes, you look at Mendoza, and Mendoza does have, I think, 2 more touchdown passes, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, he's got 32 to Julian's 30. Both these guys have 5 interceptions on the season. Mendoza has been sacked quite a bit more. Mendoza's completion percentage is lower. He's got about 300 yards less than Julian does passing. Very similar numbers, but Julian does have a slight edge. And I'm telling you right now, um, I feel like Julian is the he's in a position to where it's his trophy to lose. So
Corey?
yes, this game absolutely decides that.
Yeah,
Corey?
the game, of course, decides. It's one versus two. It's Julian versus Mendoza, and the top two guys in the Heisman race. Of course, yeah, absolutely decides it. If they both have great games, it'll just be who wins.
If they both have crap games, then Jeremiah Love sneaks up in there and gets it.
You think so? I don't know that he can at this point.
I don't
You know
know.
what? Can I be honest though, Eric? He should be in that talk 100%.
Oh, absolutely. He
And
should
we
be in.
Yes.
know we know I do not love Notre Dame. I don't even like Notre Dame, but I can give respect to a guy who is the most talented, running back right now in college football.
100%. TG?
Yeah. I would say this game does decide the Heisman. If both of them have great games, I think is who wins. And and I will say this too. I think that it depends on how they and I do think it depends on how they perform in this game and who wins it. Because if Mendoza doesn't look good and they lose, I think it's Sayans to grab. But if it's the vice versa with Sayin, but also Sayin doesn't have to. If Sayin doesn't look good, but Ohio State still wins, it is going to be a bit of a toss up. So I think that this game does decide the Heisman. Either way.
$5 super chat from our boy, Bobby Mac. We have to put pressure on Mendoza or we will get picked apart. We need 7 in the box at all times to stop their run game. Chris, do you agree?
Conventional logic would agree with that, but I don't know that I do because of the mad scientist that's drawing up the plays. Um, I do think we need to get pressure on him. I do agree with that.
Yes.
Um, a lot of that, I think we're going to do okay. We're going to get some coverage, some coverage pressure, just because our DBs are so good. But we have to get legitimate pressure on him. I think that we're going to get some blitzes drawn up and things like that. Maybe some stuff we haven't seen before. But yeah, we are legitimately going to have to get some pressure on him. But I don't know if we have to have 7 in the box at all time. Because if you do that, I almost fear you put yourself in a position where that wasn't what we've seen all year out of this defense. So to make them go into that for the entire game, I feel would just be uncomfortable. And why go away from what we've done well all year? Just surprise them. Yeah, show them some 7 in the box. Hell, show them some 8 in the box. I don't care. But at the same time, don't get away from what you've done all year with the majority of your defense.
Corey, your defensive kind of philosophy going in this game, you think Matty P is going to put
I
on
mean,
Mendoza?
gotta get pressure and stop the run. You could insert any team there.
Yes.
I mean that just sounds cliche to me, but not to disrespect Bobby. I'm just saying it's just like, well, yeah, get pressure on him. Of course, we'll play cage. We've been doing it all year. It's what we do. We don't have the guys who just pin their ears back. Typically, we have Kenyatta and Caden who do a great job securing the edge, and we have Caden who's a massive body in the middle with Edric or Taiwan Malone, and they do a great job taking away sight lines. They get their hands up in the air, and then of course we have 2 freaks at linebacker who are great in the zone coverages, such as Sonny Styles and Arvell Reed. So if they're not blitzing. I doubt we'll have a spy for the game because that's not Mendoza's game. So it'll free up Arvell Reese to run off the edge. We had to have Arvell play spy on Bryce Underwood quite a bit because Bryce can't hurt you with his feet. So if we're about to see Arvell off their edge against any tackle, well, that's an advantage to us. Caleb Downs as the roamer against Michigan was a freak of nature. I mean, he was unreal. He was taking away everything over the middle of the field. When you have aliens like this, you're able to play 4-5 and get away with it and stop the run, especially when they got a guy who is literally a mountain in the middle in Caden McDonald, who is the best nose tackle in the entire country. We're forgetting the freaks we have on the defensive side of the ball, plus two corners that are quite frankly shut down corners at this point. And by the way, McLean showing up in the box against Michigan quite a bit too. He's shown he can get up there and pop somebody.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't worried about our defense. I'm wondering if Indiana can even keep up with us. I don't think they can.
TG.
Yeah, I would say that with Mendoza, we got to get pressure early, because if you're not getting pressure on him early and you allow him to get in the rhythm, it's going to be hard to stop him. So I do think we should get pressure early to get him out of rhythm. But in that, and when you're talking about Mendoza's legs, here's the thing. Mendoza's kind of like how Ryan Day does with our quarterbacks, where he runs when the opportunity's there. Like, he can't hurt you with his legs if you're not paying him any attention. Like, I've seen it in the Penn State game. I've actually seen it a couple games this year where he does run. He's just waiting for you to not pay him any attention. That's what he does. So you do have to be cautious that he will run the ball if you give him the opportunity. So I'll say that now. You got to be cautious about that. But no, if you get pressure on him and you're able to just get him out of rhythm early, I think Ohio State got this game won right in the bag. You just got to get in on him early.
Let's talk about Signetti here in closing. Is he the kind of bad guy you love to hate? Like, he was obviously the perfect hire for Indiana. Let's be perfectly clear about that. He came in and he gave them an edge and an attitude and a belief that they never had before, at least not in my lifetime. And he's basically not afraid to say things out loud that a lot of coaches think, but they would never say. Like, what was the interviewer from Fox? I think it was.
Yeah.
When she said, Indiana has never beaten Penn State in the stadium before, and he goes, "That's not this Indiana team." And just shut her up. Like, where do you go from there? Like, he's kind of like the bad guy you love to hate, Chris, right?
He is like Jim Tressel if Jim Tressel was an arrogant jerk. That is
a great comparison.
That is Signetti.
Right?
He has a what appeared at first to be a quiet confidence that just stopped being quiet and rolled right over into arrogance. I just straight hate the guy. I can't like the guy. I can respect what he does. I can respect the fact that he has taken a program that was living in obscurity and made them nationally relevant in a matter of 2 years. I can respect that, but he's not a coach I love to hate. He's the guy I hate to hate. It just there's not a redeeming quality about this guy. He's just an ass, Eric. There's no other way to put it.
Hey,
he is a jerk.
He wins. Go Google it.
But he does win. There is no doubt about that. There's no denying that. But what happens when he faces the big boys typically?
Well, last year he was.
Pees down his pants.
What was he? 10-2 in the regular season, or no, 11-1. His one loss was Ohio State, and then when he placed Notre Dame, which was the second. I think Michigan was the only team that they beat that had a winning record last year.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
and then
there's
this
that.
year, he faced a little bit better talent this year than he did last year on the regular season level. He got an Illinois team, and they manhandled them, but ultimately Illinois proved to not be what you or I thought they were at the beginning of the season.
No.
An Oregon team that
too much
is still
Manjara
ranked.
there in Champaign, Illinois.
Yeah. But Oregon, a team that was, I still think is overranked. I think they're a good team. I don't think they're a great team. And then a Penn State team that like Ohio State faced that really, a lot of talent, but a lot of turmoil. So this is a guy who really, his teams have not done exceptionally well against exceptionally good teams. And I think we're going to see that again this Saturday.
$2 super chat from Mika. Good night, y'all. Time to give Indy a wedgie. There you go. Good
There
night,
you go.
Mika. All right, Corey, give me your SIG take.
He's a fantastic coach. There's no question. I do respect Indiana, and they're talented. I do respect the fact that he's made them a prominent program, and in their 2 years in a row, although their fans are now, they have one more year that they're going to start saying they're a blue blood. It's just
Oh boy.
ridiculous. The thing about Signetti is it's not even his arrogance that bothers me. It's the fact he has Asperger's or something. He's on the spectrum because he's just weird. And every time I see him on camera, I just I just
And
ruined
there
it.
we go.
I just destroyed the program. Sorry.
All thoughts related to this show were that of Dr. Corey Thompson and not the actual programming of the OHIO podcast. Just want to make sure everybody's clear with that.
Anyway, hey, that's a doctor's opinion. So. No, he's a weird dude. He just is. I mean, anybody who stands with their hips like that and hands on their hips like that just weirds me out. But anyway, that being said, he is a guy that you like to beat, and I do think we're going to beat him, and I think we're going to beat him good come Saturday. I think we're going to win this game by 17 to 21 points. I really do.
Wow. Hey, Corey,
Mm-hmm.
is he stranger than Jim Harbaugh?
He's on that level, but he's a better winner than Jim Harbaugh because he didn't cheat to get there.
There you go.
Hey, that's factual. I would say Kirk Signetti is a coach you love to beat. Like, you love his, like, I do love Signetti for his attitude, the fire he brings, how he has that confidence about him that he puts in his team. But it's how he talks trash. And even Corey said it, sometimes he can do some weird stuff, but look, I don't care as long as you're winning. I mean, you're a better winner than the cheater that's over in LA and the morons up north. Like, you do more with this bad program than that dude's done any of his time up north. But guess what? I can't hate you too much. I respect you. I love the fact that you win, and I just love beating you because you talk so much trash. I'm gonna put you in your place.
Okay. I got a question before you want to close this one out, Eric.
Okay.
And here's my question for the panel, being the other three of you.
Mm-hmm.
Has Indiana's fan base become more arrogant than Michigan's fan base?
No.
No.
It's close. I don't hear from Indiana's fans in my inbox as much as Michigan fans, but over on the College Huddle, you do. They are incredibly vocal right now on a national level. And I don't blame them because they've been down so long that I'm like,
Yeah.
I get why you guys are excited, but let's never forget this. That is a basketball school pretending to be a football school.
Absolutely. Absolutely. 100%. Let me tell you,
Are
I
they a
got to throw
basketball
this
school?
in. Well, they
They're
were at one
they're
time.
Basketball.
they're a blue blood basketball.
Kind of
True.
like Michigan's a blue blood in football. Not!
I mean, okay, I don't know their history beyond Bobby Knight, to be honest with you. Have they had anybody great besides Bobby Knight?
I don't know.
I don't remember.
That's my point. If you have one fantastic Hall of Fame, incredible, great coach, does that make you a blue blood? I don't know.
Let's find out. Go ahead,
Yeah,
Chris.
I don't remember.
But this is the thing. And Eric, I am the person, probably the most loved person in the state of Indiana. Between Notre Dame and Indiana fans, I am by far the most loved person in the state of Indiana. And I get a lot of their fan mail. So, if you ever look at any of the comments that are posted on my videos, I can honestly say these guys, while not as delusional as scum fans, maybe even more arrogant with less reason to be. They've had 2 years as a good program, and they're out there acting like they've been winning Big Ten championships and national titles for the last 20 years.
That's true.
Guys, get your heads out of your backside until you've actually done something. For the love of God, win something real before you start running your mouth.
That
I'm
I
good.
will agree with.
I'm going to say they are a blue blood, Corey. They've won 5 NCAA championships, 3 under Bobby Knight, 2 before Bobby Knight got there, and they've won 22 Big Ten championships, which I believe is second best in the conference, only to Purdue.
And when was their last?
It's been a while.
Yeah, I
2016
was
was
like,
their.
can you lose your blue blood status? That's got to be a question.
Well,
We've had this
Kinda
discussion. You
can.
can.
Well, you can, and officially yesterday, Michigan lost their blue blood status, in my opinion. They're no longer a blue blood in my mind.
I think they've been lost their blue blood status long before.
So, I don't want to take away their blue blood status from Indiana yet, because quite frankly, if you're going to do that, no team in the Big Ten has a blue blood. None of them are. We haven't won a freaking NCAA tournament since 2000.
Well, we probably could say that accurately. There is no blue blood Big Ten team.
Is
If there
there
was
really a
one, it
blue
would be
blood
Indiana.
outside the ACC?
Yeah, Kentucky.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Kentucky, that's the only other one.
Kansas.
Well, wait a minute. Duh, UCLA is a
Kentucky,
part of our
Kansas.
conference now.
Oh yeah,
You
UCLA
know what,
was.
though?
Yeah.
UCLA is a blue blood. I will die on that hill, man. Absolutely, that is a blue blood school. Dude, UCLA is a blue blood basketball school, man.
We
They have
said
the-
you could lose it.
They have the
was
greatest
a blue blood
coach
school.
in college basketball
Yes.
history.
This is like Michigan arguing they own the record because all the 19 post or pre World War II wins. I mean, it's just like
all those wins against the
no
little
doubt
sisters
John
of
Wooden
Thor.
is a legend, no doubt, icon. In fact, in basketball and beyond.
Some of the
that.
greatest players ever. Absolutely.
Yeah, Lou Alcindor, Bill Walton.
Well, at
was
least with
around, I mean.
UCLA basketball, they've been relevant before they've been relevant longer than Michigan football, at least. So
Wasn't UCLA in the Final Four 2 or 3 years ago?
I think they were.
Yeah. They came out of came out of nowhere and went all the way to Final Four, I think.
When was their last championship? Was it back in? Did they win one back in the O'Bannon days?
Let's find out.
The guy who took
2014
college football video game from us.
No, the last NCAA tournament championship for them was 1995.
Okay.
But their
That's
last
30 years ago.
They won the Pac-12 in 2023, the last year they were there before they joined the Big Ten. Let's see. I want to say they made a Final Four. When was their last Final Four?
Here's the thing. If you haven't won a title in the last, I would say 30 to 35 years, and you're saying they fit in there, but barely, I think you got to start questioning that blue blood status.
We got to say UConn's a blue blood, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's not ACC.
Especially
No,
in
it's Big East, isn't
Big
it?
East.
Big East.
Especially in women's basketball, man.
Yeah, that's an obvious one.
They're
My
an
goodness.
obvious blue blood there.
That's not blue blood status. That's that's Mount Olympus status, dude.
Yeah,
Come on, man.
We went right from what was it? Summerall in Tennessee, right into the Yukon era with is it Aurelia that's up there, right? Gino Aurelia.
Gino. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, guys, this has been a lot of fun, man. Here's the rundown for this week for you all. Chris is going to be doing the call-in show tomorrow night. I'm supposed to have several videos I'm recording with several different people for this week. We have Tuesday night, TG and Sean have a very special guest. A future Buckeye is going to be on the program Tuesday night. So you're not going to want to miss that great interview on the lounge Tuesday night at 8 o'clock. Wednesday, we will have Ohio State versus Indiana Big Ten Championship preview for you. We will also have Ryan Day's press conference Tuesday at 12 o'clock. And we will have Wednesday morning, starting at 8 o'clock in the morning, Mika and I are having our early signing day period extravaganza live show. Wednesday morning, 8 o'clock. We'll be going all morning long as the commitments come in. We'll be talking about each and every single one of those recruits who commits to Ohio State on Wednesday. It's going to be a great day, everybody. So you're not going to want to miss that. Thursday is the Buckeye Ladies at 8 o'clock. And then who else? I mean, I don't know what else we'll be doing this week. Make sure you're over on Patreon. We're doing game watches, everything. And, of course, the Big Ten Championship game will be game watch over on Patreon on Saturday night. Say goodbye to Corey. Say goodbye to Corey, everybody. He is moving up here to the great state of Ohio.
And I officially retired as a professional painter today, so I'm done.
Congratulations, Corey.
Congrats.
I wish it meant I didn't have to work anymore, but no.
Did you get your gold jacket or anything? Like, are we gonna?
No, they made me climb high ladders all day.
Oh, okay, all right. But Corey's moving up here to the great state of Ohio this weekend, so he won't be available for the podcast for at least this weekend. We'll let him get situated and taking care of everything as he moves here to the great state of Ohio. So Chris and I will be taking care of the game. Maybe we'll have TG or Bart or somebody join us possibly as well. And then we've got the basketball games this week.
You think I'm bad? Go get Bart on here.
You and Bart are both great. You and Bart together?
Toxic.
Channel no longer exists. Okay?
Hey, we could always invite Caden on with us, Eric.
Shut up, Chris.
That's
That deserves a strike. No.
Let Caden and I co-host a show. I'll have fun with him.
I gave him every opportunity in the world, and he blew it. So, no. Not happening. Have a great night, everybody. Unlike Chris's last comment, be kind to one another. I owe someone's OH in Carver, Ohio with all your heart. Till next time, you all know what to do. OH!
I-O!
And TG?
Go Bucks and scum still sucks.
Have a good night.
Night, everybody.